I would say the biggest golden rule would be lurk first and get to know that content creator, because again, like I said earlier, everyone's different and everyone has their vibe. And there have been so many people that I've you see them in like the first 5 to 10 seconds of a raid and you just assume that's who they are, or first minute of their stream, and there's so much more. Or you catch them in like one specific moment and you can't just like gauge who they are or the vibe of their stream based on that.
Welcome to Tarducks, a podcast for content creators to come on, share their stories, advice, and experiences. And today I have JewLee. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And what we do to start things off is we do 3 rapid questions to get things flowing. And are you ready?
Maybe, but my brain cells might not be.
That's okay. We can edit anything out. It's all good.
Okay.
All right. So how about the last movie or TV show you saw?
It was on the plane back from TwitchCon. I watched Wayne's World.
Oh, classic. Yes.
Such a good one.
It is. Holy cow. Now, did you have that on your iPad or anything, or was that on like the in-flight TV?
Yeah, in-flight TV, they had it.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. You're going out to eat to your favorite place. What are you getting?
Oh, okay, listen, you're obviously going to tell I'm Canadian. Swiss Chalet, I gotta get that quarter chicken.
Absolutely. Quarter chicken white with fries and the Swiss Chalet sauce. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I can drink that sauce for days.
Yeah. When we go home, we get the packets of Swiss Chalet sauce, and when we come back to the States, we can make it and have it with our chicken and fries. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
It is. All right. And the best thing about living where you live?
I like that I'm close enough that I can do stuff if I need to, but I have a lot of solitude and peace. Like, I redid my backyard a few years ago, and I have like little foxes running through. And
nice.
I have like the nice city experience too, so I can just go like downtown Toronto and get stuff done if I want to. So
nice.
It's not too bad.
That's good. Yeah, Toronto's a beautiful. You've got so much culture, food, entertainment. It's a nice, and it's clean too.
Yeah, pretty clean.
Yeah. All right. So before you came onto the scene, and I've seen, I think somebody called you the Tarkov mom. I don't know who did that, but what did you do before streaming on Twitch and modding for everybody?
Well, before that, I would say like before COVID, and I worked in the entertainment industry for about 20 years. I've done everything from radio. I was a tour manager. I worked at a record label. I worked at an entertainment marketing firm. So kind of all over the place. I went to school for audio production engineering, entertainment administration, and COVID hit, and my work kind of wasn't as regular. Concerts can't really exist in that environment. I did have a day job working at a college, so I still do that as well. But that was my primary source of income, and that's kind of why I went to Twitch a little bit, because it kind of scratched the itch of all of that lack of concerts and organization. So yeah, before that, it was a lot of entertainment. You can't see it now. Hold on, let me unblur my background.
All right.
But I've got a poster from North by Northeast Music Festival.
Oh, no way. Cool.
I'm festival coordinator for that for quite a while, and I got a lot of my friends and some really cool bands to sign it
nice.
1 year. So
cool. That's awesome. All right. So how about video games? When did video games start for you?
I would say like 1998.
Okay.
You could actually, even before that, I had a Commodore 64, and I'm like a paperboy speedrunner. And there were
nice.
just two. Game, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like Gorillas or something, and it's 2 gorillas that stood on rooftops and they threw boomerangs and bananas at each other.
Oh my god.
And it was on Commodore 64.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely like I think Paperboy was my first I would say shooter.
Oh nice. Nice.
But yeah, And then it was like I got a little bit later into like Doom and Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein was my jam, and then I got Xbox and started doing like the Halo series.
Yeah.
So
oh, cool.
A long time ago.
Oh my! And now, when did you jump into PC gaming then?
I would say I got back into it. Tarkov would be like my. I did a little bit, like I did Raft and a few other games, but Tarkov was my first FPS on PC, which obviously I chose the easiest game to play.
I was just going to say.
Oh my God. Not been challenging at all.
No, not at all. And now, how did you find it? What, did somebody recommend it, or you saw somebody playing it? It's like, I got to try that.
I was actually seeing a guy that was playing the game, and he didn't really know much about streaming, and so I started watching a lot of streamers to kind of get an idea of like what kind of channel points and like what the game was about, because it's so confusing to somebody that's never really played it, because you want to think it's like Call of Duty, but it's so not.
Right.
So I started watching a bunch of streams to get into it, and then Kings actually convinced me to get the game, and then One Peg got me EOD, so that's how I ended up playing it. Yeah.
Oh, no way! Holy cow! Yes, and it's two different games, Raft and Tarkov. I
was like a Raft main, and then all of a sudden I only streamed like 2 hours at a time for like 2 days a week. And that's like half a raid in Tarkov. So,
I know.
The amount of time you kit up and then get into the raid, like it's one raid basically. So yeah.
Oh man. So now you're in your bio it says you mod for everybody. So let's first of all, what is a Twitch mod?
I would say somebody that in my shoes, it's somebody that supports and tries to, because at the end of the day, for a lot of these people, it's their livelihood. It might be fun in games, and it literally is, but it's their livelihood. So someone that understands that, for one. But I'm there for the streamer, and I'm there for a content creator and for a community. So I'm hoping to keep all of those people safe, be entertaining as well. And for some people, I'm content, especially like because of the caps, like it's something that is content for people. Yeah. And because I'm a bit of a smartass and a sarcastic person myself, like despite the fact that it is a livelihood, it is fun in games too. So I can have that sense of humor. So it's somebody that kind of looks out for all of those things. And at the end of the day is just there to back a content creator.
Okay. And now, what made you, be a mod? What was that itch to scratch?
Well, like I said, I kind of do entertainment marketing. So I had, I've done stuff like managed multi-platinum recording artists' YouTube channels. They have millions of subscribers. So, I know that concept of it, and a lot of people that I mod for do know that, so they do pick my brain for a lot of things. I am a wealth of knowledge because I have that, and it isn't far off from a lot of things that I do. So I would say unique in that sense because I understand that hustle. I'm a content creator myself, but I understand what it takes to build relationships, because my job in a lot of cases, I make unlikable people and unlikable things likable. And I make people want that. So I understand that concept, and I have given a lot of people advice based on that.
Excellent. Yeah, I guess that's really true because, with dealing with bands and whatnot, you're dealing with their brand. Just like a content creator, they want to protect their brand, and you've lived both sides of that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And now, who are some of the people you mod for?
I mod for people that aren't even affiliate yet, all the way to people that have thousands of viewers. Yeah, I would say some of the more well-known ones would be like Trey, 24K, Willers, Smitty Stone. We've got It's Reefy, Nixia, J Bebe, Arson. I mean, the list goes on.
Oh my God! Holy cow!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's about 100 people.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a website called Mod Lookup. I can send you the link.
Okay.
It'll show you all the people that I mod for. You have to go all the way to look at 100 show 100 to see everybody, but you can populate it by views, partner, followers, that kind of thing, and you can see there's
awesome.
Quite a few.
I'll check that out. Holy cow. And now who I guess your ex-boyfriend was probably your first mod then. I was going to say, who did you first mod for?
I was actually, yes and no, but I would say the first person I modded for wasn't even a Tarkov streamer. It was my friend Epic Sabo. We were both on Mixer.
Oh my God.
I met him by chance through, I used to play Monster Hunter World on Xbox, and my friend Billy rated him on Mixer, and I ended up becoming his mod pretty much like immediately. But I would say Doc Dominus was the first one to mod me in the Tarkov community, and then Reef was my like biggest cheerleader when it came to that stuff. He basically he convinced he told and demanded that like Arson, Jay, Nyx, all of them like modded me, and like literally that day, because they were all like in a game together. So yeah, that group has probably been like my biggest cheerleaders. So it's been really cool.
Oh, that's cool. And now, what is it like when the streamers have the big day going on? I guess, with people like Trey, they have 1,000 people, but when there's drops or a big event and you've got 10,000 people, is that just chaos, essentially, controlled chaos?
It is. It can be a lot, and it's really about knowing the person that you mod for, because everyone has their tolerance level. Everyone has, what they will and won't allow. Some people, the word mommy is banned in their chat, whereas some, you call Trey mommy milkers and he's okay with that. It's totally fine. So it's about knowing the threshold of that content creator, and then knowing what they are okay with. And in a lot of cases, I'm an editor for people, so things do get hectic for them, so I'm helping them run ads. I'm setting up squad streams. I know there was like a few people with drops for Tarkov, like Nixia rated Unfluffy Bunny, and he immediately modded me. He's like, he had 20,000. He went from he just went live to having 20,000 people in his stream, which is an extremely overwhelming experience. So he pretty much modded me right away, and then I just immediately went and started making a few commands that I knew he was going to need. And I stayed with him. Like, I took a nap because it was about 5 a.m. And then once I got ready, I still had to work that day too. So I ended up like having a little bit of a nap and then just like go. And it's like helping him answer questions. And, there's some commands that you end up having to make on the fly because he's a caster for evasion. So I ended up making him like a caster one so that he wasn't constantly repeating that. He could just say, do exclamation caster and that kind of thing. So it can get hectic and it can be overwhelming, and you always get the drops people, which is definitely they built different, those people. So it can be a little hectic sometimes, but it's really fun to see a diverse group of people, and then not have the regulars, but also have like those drops people come back too. So I'm still a mod for Bunny too.
Good. Nice. And now, if somebody's coming, what is sort of the golden rule when people, that you would suggest people do who are coming into chat, whether it's their first time watching a content creator or just, what are some of, what would you say are some of the rules that just some common sense things people should do that you see people don't do so often?
A lot of people just don't really know not to like self-promote or talk about their own thing, I guess. So I would say the first one would just be make sure that they're okay with that, because I've seen like even brands like brands that come in that sponsor streamers, and they don't sponsor them, and they'll come in to do TTS and be like, hey, for the next like while, if you buy something from us and use this streamer's code, then you'll get 10% off, and they have zero to do with it.
Wow.
It's like,
that's not cool.
It's like, what the hell?
And
it's not even just like first time chatters. It can be just like random people that should really know better that don't.
Oh man. I had Veritas on it, and he catches a lot of people who come in, and what he said is like what drives him crazy. People come in and they just right away go, they just make that assumption as he's being an asshole, but they miss that whole conversation. It's like just sit and be in chat for the 5 minutes and get a feel of what's going on. Don't just don't come in spouting off stuff.
Yeah, I would say like the biggest golden rule would be lurk first and get to know that content creator, because again, like I said earlier, everyone's different and everyone has their vibe, and there have been so many people that I've like, you see them in like the first 5 to 10 seconds of a raid, and you just assume that's who they are, or first minute of their stream, and there's so much more, or you catch them in like one specific moment and you can't just like gauge who they are or the vibe of their stream based on that.
And now, over the years you've done this. I'm sure every streamer has a different community and different different style of people that come into it. But I've heard that like some content creators they have it's the weekends. The weekends are wild for whatever reason. Chat is on edge, or Sundays are cool and just relaxing. Mm-hmm. What have you seen from like a modding standpoint?
It really does depend. Like, I'm a huge advocate of you attract who you put out.
Yeah.
So, like, you will always have those weekend warriors because that's the only time that they can be at a computer.
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily always understand, like, the environment of Twitch. They might be a little bit tone deaf, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But there are people that are, like, really, really good about that, and they're really easygoing and can handle that. And there's some people that just can't. And, then I have to come into play, and I'll be that asshole that does it instead of the content creator. That way they don't lose the vibe and they can kind of skip over the comments while I handle things, or I try to.
Okay. That's a good point. I never even thought of that. Yeah, you can be that, the bad cop or the bad parent, and that makes sense. Cool. I'm really easygoing, and like for the most part, like I have a really long set of patience, so like my fuse goes so I'll have a conversation. I'll be that like stern mom that's like, I will turn this car around. We're not going to grandma's. You're not getting the good candy today. Like, I will be that person if I have to, so that they don't have to, and that's okay. I'm okay not being liked, and sometimes it comes back to bite me in the butt, but it happens. Okay. And now you said, we chatted. You were down to San Diego for TwitchCon. Was that your first TwitchCon?
It was. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It really was.
So how was it? Let's talk about it.
Oh man, it was so much fun. The cool thing I can say is like it didn't matter whether you were a partner, an affiliate, or a community member. Like we had the police officers there where one of them was a Tarkov streamer, and like he was one of us. Like it was really cool. He's actually in one of the group photos too, but it was just really cool because we were all like there hanging out. Like you could text or like message somebody or like put out a tweet being like, I don't know what's going on, and you'd have like 20 people respond, and there's like no egos. Everyone's willing to hang out. Like it didn't matter how many views you had or if you were a streamer or content creator or not. Like everyone was there hanging out, and it was just a really cool vibe. And that's one of the main reasons why I love this community and why I mod for people in this community, because it really was cool to see people that you would be scared to walk up to in a normal setting, and they're just like sitting there shooting the shit with whoever that would walk up and talk to them, and it was really awesome. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think we as the Tarkov community, I think we have something special with the game. And probably because it's a mature crowd, older group of people that are playing this. I think that probably lends to why it's so. Not miserable, not in a bad way, but it's just so defeating sometimes, and we all commiserate together and feel that suffering. But it's really been the only community I've been a part of, and I've got nothing but great things to say about the people. Yeah, like it's one of those. It's you either have a toxic game with a good community, or you have a good game with a really toxic community, and I feel like Tarkov is the first one. It's got a really, really good community. We all kind of like suffer with each other instead of to each other, and be miserable at that person and with each other. It's just kind of cool. Yeah. So this was your first time really meeting a lot of the people you mod for in real life. Yeah, it really was. And it was a really cool experience. Everyone was so welcoming and so sweet and nice, and just like grateful that I helped them out. So it was really nice to like feel that in person. Yeah. Oh, cool. Now, what was coming away from TwitchCon, what would you say was the biggest highlight for you? I'd have to say, it sucked because I missed the photo, but Amy Cakes and I, leading up to TwitchCon, were trying to get people to meet up. So we were like, I was messaging a bunch of people I mod for, and she was messaging a bunch of her friends, and we're all trying to get that. So pestily tweeting it out and then getting everyone there, probably, because without him, we would have had people show up for sure, but it wouldn't have been that big. Like literally everybody that had anything to do with Tarkov was there, and it was really, really cool to have everybody meet up and be in that space together. That is awesome. Oh, man. So now you said you started streaming was Raft was the first game you...
Now, what made you go live to begin with? Was it just COVID and you wanted to just, you were stuck in the house and wanted to communicate and have some fun with a different group of people?
Well, I used to play with my friends and while they streamed, and they would often get the question, like, what's her Twitch? And then they would get, the whole, like, why aren't you streaming? Why aren't you streaming?
Oh,
so encouraged me to do it. They're like, yeah, why aren't you streaming? So I did start, and I did it for 2 hours twice a week, and now I'm up to 3 days a week, and I do about 6 to 10 hours depending on how maldy I get on Tarkov. But yeah, that was kind of what did it. They just kept encouraging me to do it, and now I have so many people that I mod for that really believe in me too, and they're the ones that are kind of keeping me going and getting me there. So it's really cool that I had people wanting me to do it before I even considered it myself. Yeah,
oh, that's awesome. And you have your own community now too.
I feel like it's kind of my own, but it's just the Tarkov community in general, because like I there's a lot of comments that I get, and it's like, wow, I didn't know that you stream too. Like, wow, the Tarkov mod streams, and I don't talk about it in people's chats unless it's brought up either. I do feel bad because sometimes I'll be in a stream and I'll be like, whatever, just like typing, and someone would be like, oh, are you streaming today? And I feel so weird like answering that question, but I also don't want to ignore it. So I don't even know what to do in those situations, but sometimes it's kind of strange because I am mostly known as the mod, and then people don't really know that I stream, which is fine. Yeah. I really do have a passion for modding, and I think it's a lot of fun. So I kind of get a balance of both. Yeah. And now that first time you went go live and you had that stranger come into your stream, how was that experience? I wanted to throw up. Oh, no. But I also eat crickets on stream, so a lot of things make me want to throw up. Oh, God. All right. And why crickets? I made a wish list because I wanted things to, like, improve my stream. Yeah. So I asked my friends to look at it to see, because I didn't want, like, a dresser or that kind of, you know what I mean? Just, like, whatever. I wanted it all to be, like, stream related. Yeah. And, like, well, why don't you get, like, the really hot chip or like the bean boozle, and then one of my friends suggested crickets, so I put it on there, and then that moron bought them for me, so I had to do it, and it's just been a thing ever since. Do you have ranch? Yes, ranch. So there's a ranch flavored soda. Okay. You got to put that on your yeah. Go to Amazon and CNE food is bad enough. I don't want it. There was actual mac and cheese lemonade at the CNE this year. It's actually just, I can't even fathom that. Oh, that's like ketchup and mac and cheese. No, that's just bad. They had a ketchup lemonade too. Ooh. I know. Nightmare fuel. Yeah. Like, I love my ketchup chips when I come back home to Canada. I was surprised over the summer I saw ketchup Doritos, which that's pushing it, but... Yeah, no, ketchup and eggs, no, and oh God, as a lemonade, no, thank you. Now I make the joke that I eat crickets, so when you're in your night raids, you don't hear them anymore. So if you don't hear crickets at night, you're welcome. I'm doing you a service. So now, what, in your opinion, what's some of the harder things about streaming and going live? Oh God, audio, things going wrong. Like every single time I open up OBS, it's on the wrong monitor. Yeah. My scenes are all jacked up. They're always the wrong ones. The technical part. The rest of it, like, is just more nerves. Like I'm like an introverted extrovert. Like for me, like I think a lot of people in streaming, like, or at least like gaming, they got like bullied growing up, and so they're more like introverted and a lot less like social. So for me, it's more of a skill that I developed over time instead of a characteristic. So that runs out after a while. So it's just being able to like maintain, because I'm a pretty chill person, and I smoke weed and I die and I laugh and I don't really care. But the majority of my fears are just technical stuff not working properly. Okay. But like, you come from that music production industry, that, live, that's intense. That could be crazy and whatnot. So, probably just more relaxing on Twitch, streaming live. Yeah, I'm always side stage. I'm never on stage. I'm always the person like plugging the mics in or, behind the desk with the little knobs and the faders. I'm not the person on stage putting themselves out there.
Yeah.
I do like streaming because it is me on my own terms, whereas like modding for people, I'm following their rules and their vibe.
Yeah.
So I do like that freedom of it, but it still is really intimidating. It is really, whether there's like one person that I'm talking to, 0 people, or, someone rates me and I've got thousands, it's still, I get that pit in my stomach before I hit that button.
Yeah. And now, what about those times when you get rated with 1,000 people? What, your first time that happened? Being a mod and having thousands of people is different than actually now you have 1,000 people looking at you and looking for reactions. What is that experience like?
Absolutely terrifying. Trey was the first one to raid me, and like with a large number of people, and I almost cried. Like I couldn't handle it. It was really overwhelming because I know what that's like, but I don't actually have to experience it myself. Like I talk with those people, so I'm always words on the screen. I'm never the face there. Yeah. So feeling that was very intimidating. For him though, it was like a build. So he went from, 0 to 10 to 50 to 100 to whatever. But for me, it went from I had 10 people to 1,000. So that's a very overwhelming experience. Oh God, yes. I never had the progression that he did in that. Yeah,
absolutely. And now you being a mod, when you're the live, you're the live streamer, and now you have your own mods. It's got to be like, hey, that's not, you do mod, the way you mod people, you probably have a higher level of expectation from the mods you have, or?
Mine are pretty chill, and I have the Mix It Up bot, which poses as me. So all of my stuff is done as me in my channel. So I don't even have a proper stream elements or anything like that in there. It's kind of funny, but no, I'm my streams, like I said, it takes a lot for me to ban a person. I've had people, because I mod for people and I tend to be the one that lays down the law. Yeah. I've had stream snipers, which it's my second wipe. You really don't have to stream snipe me. You just be in a raid, be a scav in a raid. I will die. Yeah. But I've had some, or racist comments because my name is JewLee. Yeah. So there's the few and far between people that do that, but for the most part, it's pretty chill, and I don't have a lot of rules. Literally, when you click on my profile, it's don't be a fuckstick. Yeah. As long as you aren't a fuckstick, we're good.
Yeah. But you bring up a good point. You being the, that strict mom that, for people's, once you go live, you probably have, sometimes there's a target, I'm just going to go in, you ban somebody or whatnot, and now you got a target maybe sometimes on your stream. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been follow botted. People have threatened to dox me. I've been stream sniped. I've had people flood my chat with really out of pocket messages. Yeah. It's definitely happened a few times. So I've definitely been a target, especially even on Twitter, I'll get tagged in something because I used to talk to some of the devs and get people banned in the game and that. So I'll get tagged on occasion in posts and stuff. And then, there was one specific person, they got outed for cheating, and I was his mod, and before anything really was revealed whether or not it was true, I was being attacked by people. Wow, you're a shitty person for supporting a cheater. And it's well, there isn't necessarily 100% proof, and obviously it did happen. They did cheat, and that's fine, but the fact that I was being attacked and I was having people DM me, people threatening me over it was really messed up, and it does happen. Yeah.
There's some shitty people out there. There's no need for that.
I want to believe in the best in people, so I'm not going to assume that person's cheating just because one accusation pops up. I need proof, because in a situation like that, it's that person's livelihood, it's that person's reputation, it's also mine too, which I understand. But attacking me isn't going to make that person any more or less guilty. Yeah,
and also as a mod, you can't really, you may not even be able to tell that he's cheating. So. That's you're just guilt by association.
It's my second wipe, okay? I watch a lot of Tarkov streamers, but like I don't catch everything.
Right. Yeah. And now, something else that's, I've had a bunch of other lady streamers and content creators on the pod, and we talk about Tarkov being a really good community for females. What's your take on it?
I think it is. I think there are a lot of people that support the female content creators. We are not obviously as big as the male content creators in terms of like just the amount that exist.
Yeah.
But the really cool thing is like, Nixia created like the Chadettes and the Discord. I mod in her Discord as well for that. But it's really cool because we try to look out for each other. So if there's like some guy that's doing some weird stuff, then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
If someone's having like a really tough day, we can support each other, and we can do it in a way that, as much as we appreciate that the guys want to be there for us, like they can't do certain things, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of support from the males too. Like they really do back us, and it is really cool that like there isn't this real weird divide.
No, there's right. It's everybody who I've had on talks about the fact that we have so many kick-ass females in the Tarkov community, and it's just there's really, like you said, there's no separation. Everybody's in this community together. But about the Chadettes, so the Chadettes, what is the Chadettes for those of people that don't know?
We're a stream team of female content creators, primarily Tarkov, but really any game. We have a Discord. Sorry, I'm just gonna cough.
Yep.
We have a Discord, and basically we're just a bunch of girl gamers just trying to make it out there. It's really cool. Like I said, it's like a huge support system for each other. We have like Taco Tuesdays, and we recently did a charity event for the American Heart Association. So 2 weeks of streaming, I was a part of it. We raised a buttload of money, which was a lot of fun, and we all put ourselves out there. It was really, really cool, and hopefully we get to do something like that again. But yeah, it's just like a place where females can support females, and that people know that, because sometimes like I am words on a screen until you see me on camera. So the fact that you can like click and see Chadette, like, oh, okay, she's a female streamer. So it's really cool.
Excellent. And you don't have, you could be a brand new person to Tarkov. Just, be a female, be a female in the community, and it's your, you can just, sort of sign up or whatnot, and you have a support team right there. Yeah.
Females and those that identify as females. And, it's really cool. There's a lot of us in there now, and it's mostly Tarkov, but there are people that don't play Tarkov and had never have even picked it up and tried it. So it's really open to just anybody that is a female that needs support.
Excellent. Yeah, because it's it's a place you can go to, people who can relate to what they're doing. Other people who are streaming and creating content. And like I think you mentioned earlier, if you've got some weird person in this community, now you can spread that and share it, and just look out for each other.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And now, since you've been a Chadette, is there any instance where you're like, wow, that's pretty cool, or a moment where they really, you were glad they were there to support you in some way?
Well, I would say when we all got together and did like the charity streams. It was scheduling. Like Nixia kind of oversaw the whole thing, and so for her to like organize and schedule all that was really cool. But we all try to like support each other, show up in each other's streams. We're all like donating to each other and hanging out. So it was really cool to kind of see, and like people that weren't even doing the charity event just coming in and hanging out as Chadettes. So we were all like uplifting and supporting each other. So that was really cool that like, even if they weren't donating or even chatting, just the fact that they were there putting it out there. Like I had tweeted about it, and I had a lot of the Chadettes like really jump on it and talk about it. So it's really cool.
Oh, awesome. And now if somebody wanted to sign up, how would they go? How would they reach out and, get involved?
If you see the Chadette, like you can click on the Chadette stream team, just like go to anybody. You can ask us in our chats. You can ask us on Discord. You can message anybody, and we'll send you the Discord link, and Nixia has to be the one to send the team invite. But it's open to anybody. So as long as you reach out to any one of the Chadettes, it could be anybody. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So Tarkov, what's the hook it has for you that, makes you play the game?
it's such a challenging game, and I've never been one to take the easy road, I guess.
Yeah.
So I went for the game that shows me I love abusive relationships, and I play the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But I think it's just mostly the challenge, the fact that there's so much to do and there's so many ways to play the game that, it gives you a variety of things, and it's never the same. No two raids are ever really the same. So you can spawn in the same spot and just like everything's completely different.
And now, what was the hardest thing to learn or grasp about the game when you first started?
Still doing it, but map knowledge.
Yeah.
Map knowledge because of like the situational awareness.
Yeah. And now, what is your least favorite map you have to play?
I would say like woods or shoreline.
Yeah. And your favorite?
Customs.
Okay. Yep. Nice.
Interchange is a very, very close second. I love interchange.
Yeah, they just got to fix the lighting. It's too dark.
I spawned in once. This was before I got a new computer.
Yeah.
And the shadows didn't load, and it was just the most bright and beautiful.
Oh my God.
Map I'd ever seen in my life.
Oh, nice. Now, when you play, do you play solo or do you play with a squad?
I mostly play solo, but I have it's because I'm newer and I know that it's such a challenging game that it does take like a special person to want to play with like newer players and be patient. So like in theory, a lot of people want to play with me, but in reality, that's it might not always be the right fit.
Yeah.
So. And there are people that understand that. So there are people like Trey, for example, like that guy's cracked out of his mind. Would him and I ever duo? Probably not, because that is just like such a mismatch.
Yeah.
But there are so many people that I would game with or that would game with me. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's a huge meme in his chat about us playing together just because we're so opposite.
Yeah.
Him being good and me not being good. But yeah, like I do want to play with more people, and I feel like once I get better, more map knowledge, learn how to actually build guns and get good, I will be a better teammate, and I will likely expand my horizons and play with more people.
Yeah.
And it's like a double-edged sword because I want to play with people because it's so much easier to learn the game that way, but also I don't want to like get handouts, and I don't want to like sit in a room while someone else fights. And
right.
That does happen a lot to me too because I am newer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die to stupid shit. I would just let me YOLO and die to stupid shit. I get it. Just insure my stuff's insured. It's fine.
The one thing that this game does have is BSG has their Sherpas, which I think is so cool to have for people who are brand new and don't have a community that can just learn the game that way. So I think that's a nice thing that BSG has done.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have a tutorial or instruction manual, so they need something.
Absolutely. So this is your second wipe. Were you part of the first full wipe, or is this your really first full wipe?
This is my full second wipe. My first wipe, I had half a frame per second. As I mentioned, I had a really crappy computer. I couldn't play this game. Like, it was literally unplayable for me. It was a slideshow presentation of a slideshow presentation of Tarkov.
Oh.
So my first wipe was when all bosses were on reserve, and that's literally like the first day I played.
Oh my God.
So I played like a couple raids, and then that was about it. So last wipe was my first full wipe, and this is my full like second one. Yeah.
And now so do you focus on quests right now, or are you really just, gaining map knowledge and all the different maps and whatnot?
Last wipe, I was more focused on quests because my goals were to max traders, max karma, and do 100 PMC kills, which I reached those goals.
Nice.
This wipe is to learn all the maps except for labs. I want to focus next wipe on labs and just do like a lot of labs gaming. So this one is just like map knowledge, and with that will become like situational awareness, and then like a little better at PvP. Like I'm almost at like 100 kills now, which it took me a while to get there last wipe.
Yeah.
It did. Not gonna lie.
Now, have you ran into the bosses at all?
I have once, and they immediately yeeted me.
Oh no!
Like if you're talking about like the goons.
Yeah, the goons.
I got yeeted out of existence by Bird Eye within like he saw me, I didn't see him, and then I saw his name on my kill screen. That's how that happened. Customs.
Yeah, and I wish they'd crank the percentage that you would see them. I've seen them once, I think, and yeah, for something that they take so much time of putting into the game, to not run into them a lot, it's kind of it's disappointing. And same with cultists is another thing that you run at night, and it's very rare you run into those guys. And I think that would be a huge, that's so scary running at night and having these things floating around.
Yeah, and they're so quiet. It's so spoopy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think that might change, though. Like, everything they introduce, they kind of, introduce it and tweak it. Yeah. So some things might work and some might not. So I think it's not running the way that they're expecting it to, and that's why it's running the way that it is. But once they start introducing more things and kind of fixing it, I think that things will improve. But I don't think it's, the first iteration of the goons.
No, I think you're right. So now I see you're have an affiliation with Ethos and Stince Computers.
Yep. Ethos, basically, if people want merch, I'm someone that they can connect with to, I actually don't have my own merch. I'm super scuffed. But if people want merch or looking for it, I can help them set up a store or help them get set up with it. Nice. And with Stince actually built my current computer because, as I mentioned before, Nyx, Jay, Reef, and Arson raised money within their communities and bought me a computer.
No way.
Yeah, I woke up from a depression nap and my phone was going off and I kept getting all this PayPal emails and I'm like, oh, it's just those whatever spam emails. Yeah. And then I go to my computer and I had a broken SSD and a broken GPU. I couldn't, I said, Tarkov was unplayable. I'm trying to load into a raid with Reef. Yeah. And I crashed twice. He played an entire raid, 2 raids before I even loaded into that one raid.
Oh my God.
It was awful. So they raised money. I went into their chats and all of them had JewLee as the title. Yeah. And about $2,000 Canadian got raised. And initially it was to fix my GPU and SSD. And then Stince was like, well, I could just, I went to him for the computer build. And he was like, well, I'll just build you a computer. With the money that you've raised. Yeah. Not only that, but his employee Roddy got me a Go XLR. So I ended up having that, a computer, a Go XLR, and this mic, all within a really reasonable price. Yeah. And I don't see any other people doing that. No, so
that's so cool.
That's why. And then I asked him, I was like, well, can I be an affiliate? Because I want to rep you guys, because I'm not going to rep people that I don't believe in them.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to have a promo or a code or something for something that I don't believe in myself. That's why I only really go with him. Yeah. Because from the start, they were there, and he even said well, if you need this, it's going to cost more, but I'll just eat the cost and it's fine. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
No business I would know would be willing to do that. And Roddy got me this Go XLR and this mic for an incredible deal as well. Yeah, so they're definitely people I stand behind, and I really value them and the relationship that I have with them.
I've heard so many good things about them. When that other shady computer company went down, left people hanging, they stepped in, talking to Sigma. They've backed the evasion. They partnered together, and it's just they are such a stand-up, reputable company. And so it's nice to hear.
Well, that one other company that you're talking about is one of the TTSers that I was mentioning earlier, how they would just go and first time chatter message, hey, did you know that right now we're giving away on our channel? Come. So I brought up their stream and mine, and I was like, hey, I'm giving away insert your brand here keyboard on my stream. I'm live right now, and I got banned from their chat. And the first time chatter message said, why did you promo in your chat? And I said, well, why did you promo in mine?
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't get it. Not at all. Yeah. Oh my. So, so you started with Raft when it came to streaming, and then you came to Tarkov. And did you spend any time in the Raft community?
Not really. I mostly just gamed with my friends. Yeah. I played Raft, Jackbox party packs. Yeah. I did a lot of different stuff. So there wasn't your community when you do multi games is you. There isn't really I don't know. I felt like I wasn't a Raft streamer. Yeah. I wasn't box streamer or whatever, so I didn't feel like there wasn't anybody that I could really talk to in them. So it was really Tarkov that had like the open arms with me.
Oh, nice. Okay. So now when you sign off, you're not streaming, you're not modding, what are you doing? What's life away from your computer?
Well, I have 2 cats, which they're amazing and I love them.
Yes.
So I spend some time with them, but yeah, like I said, I spent about 20 years working in the music industry. I'm constantly around loud noises.
Yeah.
So I made my home a place where I want to be. So I spent a good amount of my hard-earned money and I redid my backyard. So I've got a pool, a hot tub. You know, when there's a thunderstorm in the summertime, I go out there, I spark a joint, I sit in my hammock and just like watch the thunder roll. So I'm just like a really chill. I like quiet.
Yeah.
That kind of thing now. So not in the occasional time, like I'll hang out with some friends, but I'll do like bowling. Now that like COVID's done, I can go bowling again.
Nice.
Go to the movies or something.
Yeah. And now, since you spent so many years in that music industry, do you ever go to concerts anymore, or you're like, I don't want to deal with that? Yeah.
I actually went to concerts didn't really exist, so it was something that I was really missing, and I finally, in July, I went to see Bad Omens, Day to Remember, Beartooth, and it was a hell of a show, and I'm excited. I can't wait to go to my next show, which is going to be them again, and then I'm going to see Motionless in White at the end of November, so nice. I'm excited. Yeah.
Very cool. And now, what's any plans for this year? Any things you're looking forward to doing?
A few concerts. Beyond that, like I know Trey's gonna have his birthday coming up, and last year his birthday was a huge slam, so I'm excited to be a part of that again.
Yeah, nice.
It's gonna be really fun. But honestly, it's just like mostly just getting back into like actual IRL stuff because it's been missing for so long, and just slowly getting back into that.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, you survived the podcast. Now, before you go, though, you got to call out somebody. Who are you calling out that you think has a good story and should come on the pod?
Trying to think of somebody. I don't. Good Lord, you're putting me on the spot.
I know. Is there a Chadette or somebody you mod for, or somebody you don't mod for, but that you watch?
Yeah, Miss Dunk. I don't know if she's been on.
I've had Miss Dunk, and
okay.
She had I'd love to share this story. When she was moving from wherever she was moving from to Oklahoma, her dad built her a car, but the car never had a horn. She was driving around with no horn, but when she moved, I think, to Oklahoma, she had to get it inspected, and she had to get a horn installed in her car. I was like, oh my God, that was the funniest.
Hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, if not her, Bearki, because she's just hilarious.
All right.
Very entertaining.
All right. Well, may need some help twisting her arm, but yeah, Bearki we'll aim to get her on. Well, JewLee, thank you so much. It's been awesome to meet you, and thank you for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I had a lot of fun. I had a nervous, again, like the nervous pit, but no, this was great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the fact that you thought of me.